Hi, my name is Tony Caraway Smith with Destiny Talk with T. Welcome to my show. I'm actually relaunching my podcast and I am so excited. Today I have a very special guest today. A conversation that we need to have that's very imperative. My guest, he actually came from a casting call, and I am so excited to talk to him. It's the perfect time to be interviewing him in regards to men's mental health. Adam, hello.
How you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you for coming.
No problem, no problem.
I know that we met through Instagram.
Yep.
And you inboxed me from a casting call prior to a lot of things that's going on in the news today.
All right.
I want you to tell the audience about yourself and a little bit of why you choose to come to Destiny Talk with T.
Okay. So hi guys, I'm Adam. I am a mental health and wellness coach for men. I grew up here in Houston, Texas. I came from I would like to say, broken family. A lot of kind of traumas that came through my life. At 16, I actually wanted to end myself, right? And just going through life and realizing how angry I was and seeing the different stigmas that was put on men, it kind of led me to get into this space, right? And actually wanted to help men to find that inner king that's in them.
Right. Right. I know that we discussed that there were some questions that I was going to ask you. We're going to get into that.
Okay.
But you said something that kind of want to make me turn things around just a little bit. I want to hear from you more about how you are digging deep into helping men because of what you went through and what you experienced. And you say at the age of 16?
Yeah.
Okay, at the age of 16. So from the age of 16, where you are now?
I'm in a way better place now, actually. And it's because I took that time to chase after myself, meaning finding who I am, my healing, and my purpose, right? And a lot of that came from getting rooted into God. A lot of my prayer time, I spent a lot of mornings with him, and even just showing up for my family, for my wife, for my kids, and learning like, okay, some of those things that I grew up and I learned aren't necessarily the right way. So it's just trying to figure out how to be a better man every day. Like Kobe says, 1% better every day.
Right, right. So is that the reason why you're focusing more on men's mental health?
Yes. I really believe like, as men, we want a space,
right?
But we've been hurt so much that it's hard to trust anybody to get into these spaces.
Okay.
Like recently, I made a post after what happened on the news, and I said, "Man, like you deserve to be here.
Right?
You deserve happiness. You deserve to just live life how you want to live it and follow your purpose." And somebody comments and it was like, "Man, they're gonna think I'm weak and I'm broke and just go to God." And I'm like, man. Going to God is absolutely the correct answer, but you have to be vulnerable enough within yourself to even go to God and be vulnerable with Him, right? And you never know; He might send you somebody to help you,
right?
So you still have to be in that humble posture to get help.
So when you see posts like that, and when you hear of news, of tragic news like that, how do you feel? And is it a place to where you feel that you can understand still that person?
I can understand it, and just being a man in manhood, like the struggles that we all have, I can understand it, so I feel for it every time. And that's why I was like, okay, the fact that I'm having this passion for it, this burning feeling for it, is why I need to go after and help where I can. Okay,
that's good. So in today's society, what would you say would be one of the main focus on men's mental health, and why there's such a stigma of why men just don't want to seek therapy or seek help or talk about mental illness?
I think for society's point of view, manhood is like this performative thing where we have to show up, we have to provide, and just work, grind. And so if you think about, like, especially in the Black community growing up, it was like, oh, if you went to the therapist, you're crazy, right? And so that fear, hearing that as a kid, you imprinting in your brain, and that's what your mind thinks. And I was like that for a while, and I ended up going to therapy in 2022. And I had a Black female therapist, and she helped me navigate through emotions, right? And then I left her, and I was like, okay, now I need a Black man who can teach me how to grow and be a man as a leader. So I actually interviewed therapists, and a lot of people don't do that. They just like go with the first person they see. It's like, no, take that consultation, actually talk to the person, get a feel for them, and learn their story a little bit. And that's what I did, and I found a perfect therapist. And so now I'm meeting with him like bi-weekly, and we're talking through things, and he challenges my mindset on how I view my past. And so going through all that, the healing journey, I'm like, okay, it's possible to come on the other side of it, so let me go help somebody else.
Yeah. So there's a perception, and I want to know why you think so many men struggle of all ages. If you can give me a category of an age group, since you are a mental health coach, what ages have you counseled or have you seen where there's a stigma, and why so many struggles with the mental health in the men and young boys and men?
So I've been mostly coaching like around 30-year-old millennials, but I have a son of my own, so I also kind of learned from working with him. One of the things that I noticed that a lot of us are carrying baggage from our childhood, and it's baggage that we shouldn't carry. It's your mom's baggage, your dad's baggage. You've been let down by your parents, and you feel like they're supposed to be this perfect person, this perfect being, like superhero for you. And when they let you down, it hits you harder than some random person doing it, right? And so we carry those things, especially as men, those moms who gave those mother wounds. And we don't talk about it because mom's supposed to be this sacred person, and it's like we have to be honest about it too. There's a lot of moms that hurt their sons, and that shows up in relationships. It shows up how they show up, right? Because I say to people all the time, you can't hide your pain. It's going to bleed onto your family, and that happened to me for a while. And I realized, I said, I can't do this. And so that would be the biggest thing when it comes to a norm that I've noticed with men.
Right. I just want to look into the camera. If anybody out there that you know that's struggling with mental health, we're talking to the men today, please have them to watch this episode, because it's very imperative, especially in this day and time. Adam is giving some awesome information, and we're going to continue this conversation, but please, if you know someone, share this video with them so they can possibly dig deep into within themselves to find out how they can get the help they need. Okay, so Adam, I want to ask you, social expectation. So many people say that men have to be strong, don't cry. Right? And if a man cried, they're weak. What's your perception about that?
There's actually a science that there's stress relievers in our tears. So when you're not crying, you're trying to hold it in, all you're doing is balling up an explosion waiting to happen later, right? And like you said, they expect us to just be strong and just carry the whole world by ourselves, and a lot of men really think they have to do that. And it's like, okay, but what are you going to do when life starts to punch you back and you're by yourself because you pushed everybody away, and you're so blinded by your past traumas and the stresses of society now that you don't see what's right in front of you. The love that could be around you, the happiness that could be around you. I won't say happiness, I really don't like that word. Joy that could be around you, the peace that could be around you, but yet you're focused on the struggles. Oh, money is low. My wife is mad at me for some reason. My kids aren't behaving, but it's like, that's a reflection of you. Right? And like I said earlier, people think that manhood is supposed to be performative, and it's not. Sometimes it's as easy as just showing up, being present, right? Especially if you have a family. And even out in the world, just show up. There's going to be hard days, there's going to be easy days. You just have to roll with the punches every day.
Okay. From your experience in coaching men, what patterns or behavior do you see most often in men when you're coaching them? I mean, should I just kind of rephrase the question? Do you see a lot of similar patterns, and I know you said earlier that a lot of it come from trauma from childhood. So what patterns do you see the most?
So a lot of times I'll see those childhood traumas come up, but there's a lot of other times where I'll see like current situations, like financial issues, or just showing up as a leader in the household, right? Because a lot of men, we weren't taught how to do that. Like we just saw people going to work, and that's not fulfillment. I did that for a while, and it affected my family so horribly, right? And so I watched my dad do it, and I was like, as a kid, I was like, I didn't get any time with you because you were always at work. And I always told myself, I said, I'll never do that. And I did it for a while. I said I didn't, and I felt bad about it. And because as boys, like we need that time with dad. Even girls need that time with dad, with mom. Those are healthy times. And if you're not getting it, the child isn't getting everything that they need. And so Definitely.
So would you consider that the nurturing part that's missing, that kind of involved with the trauma? You consider that do you consider that trauma when they don't have the father figure, the mother figure?
Absolutely.
So you figured that's trauma?
Yeah, because if you think about how the way God designed family, man, woman, children, like you really need both parents in the household. There's a difference when I'm home and my wife and my kids are home when it's just her and the kids. The kids, when I walk through, they're like, oh, dad's here, let's straighten up. But with mom, it's like, oh, we can probably get away with it. She loves us a little bit too much, right?
Yeah.
And so dad's roles in the household is to keep bringing that structure, you know, and that's why you can all tell with like the single mom boys because like they're missing that dad, and you can tell that you can see it in the way that they show up with their friends, for one. And also, too, you can tell, like, mom gave them everything. And so when they get into the world and the world's like, no, you see those temper tantrums. You see the women getting raped. You see people getting murdered because they're mad because they're not getting what they want, like a spoiled child, and do not know how to express it. And as men, we have to show up and be the example for our kids, because they're looking at you more than they're looking at mom, because you're supposed to be the head. And it's so natural that nobody questions it. It's just like, oh, my kids are going to do what I tell them to do. It's like, no, they're going to do what they see you doing. And if you're not taking care of yourself, and if you're not showing up, you're failing your kids.
Yeah, that's good, because I know parenting and having both parents in the house is important. And sometimes you see a lot of male young men with single mother household, single mom. And so did you have both of your parents in the home?
Actually, at 7 years old, I watched my family get torn apart in domestic violence in the same night.
Okay. Yeah, I can relate to that, because I am too a survivor, a two-time survivor, and that's why I do what I do. And I just want to say I really appreciate you being here today, because it's so important that we have these conversations.
It is.
Someone out there may be listening to this conversation right now, and we could actually be hopefully saving a life. So I want to get into the role of physical health, sleep, diet, fitness. Do you think that play a part in mental health?
Absolutely. I think mind, body, and soul is connected. So when one is lacking, the other ones are going to lack. And so you sometimes working on one area of your life improves the other area of your life. For example, eating right, working out, spending time with God, that's physical and spiritual. That brings your mental health up, because you're taking that time to be at peace and really get to your creator and say, what do you want me to do? Because there's a lot of men who are walking around not feeling fulfilled, and that's part of the problem as well.
And can you collaborate on that? Not when you say not feeling fulfilled.
So growing up, you always seen men just work, right? It's always just go get a job, provide for your family, like just make money, doesn't matter what it is. And when you look at like the older generations, a lot of the men are always on canes and barely walking, while the woman is just like vibrant and like, yeah, like, hey girl, right? So if you really pay attention to this, like those men did nothing but work all day. They didn't take care of their bodies. They didn't go to the gym because they didn't have time. Their sleep patterns are crazy because their schedules is crazy. So I think you have to have structure in all those areas in order for it to boost everything else.
Okay, good. What signs a man should seek when they need to seek professional help, should I say? Give me some signs as far as what you have identified in some of your clients or the people that you talk to, when you let them know it's time to seek professional help.
When they can't control their emotions, that would be the biggest one, especially anger. Because as men, we're strong, so you can kill somebody, right? And so it's typically that, or it's just like this is this hump, like you can't get over the parent wound that either parent giving you. You have to go and process that. I can't help you with that. Like you have to go to an actual like licensed therapist and really work through it. So it's typically those type of moments.
Okay. Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask you. The next question on how should they start the process, because we are not professional. I'm not a professional psychiatrist, neither is Adam. We're just here to give advice, and he's a health coach, and so we're just here to give advice and from our own personal experience. And so that's the process. As when you see signs, when you tell them it's time to go seek therapy.
Once we can't make progress, it's time.
What are the signs a man should seek for? I know we talked about that just now, but what signs besides the anger that a man should go seek professional help, and when they get ready to start the process, should they start the process by themselves or should they involve their family? Can you answer that question?
I will say, involve your at least involve your wife first if you're married,
Okay.
and just let her know, like, hey, I feel like something's wrong with me. I need to figure it out, right? And so you just get curious about manhood and about yourself. Just start learning, pouring into yourself, and really just sit down with God every morning and just start your day and say, God, what do you want me to work on today about myself, right? Because Dr. Anita Phillips puts it, we're all gardens.
Right.
And God is the gardener, so He wants to tend you to you. He wants to fill you up. He wants to take off the dead weeds, the traumas, and everything, so you can live your life. And so, sitting down with Him and just saying, God, like, where should I start, right? And He'll direct your path. Help me to find somebody to help me get to this next level or where I'm trying to be in my life, because He might revamp your whole life. I made that one prayer, and God was like, "Leave your job," and I was like, and it was like, okay, the stresses of finances, and I was like, okay, He got me. So you have to be rooted in something first. So then that root is going to tell you where to go.
I follow you and I see a lot of positive posts that you do. Is there another initiative, King, or something you?
The Inner King
can
Initiative?
Can you share a little bit about
So
that?
the Inner King Initiative is my coaching platform that I created to help men find the inner king in them. Right? So we go through all aspects of your life holistically, and I'm building a community where we all come in and just have conversations like this.
Okay.
We talk about what's wrong. If a man has questions, he can come ask. I facilitate the whole thing, and then I have like group coaching, like one-on-one coaching as well.
Okay. Okay. And how long you been doing that?
This is year 2.
Oh, really?
Actually.
And it's been good.
It's been a journey.
Good.
It's been a journey.
Yeah. Especially dealing with men's mental health. I can imagine. What type of things would you say that a person can do, a man, of course, can do as far as working out, other things that they can do to help themselves to get past the mental health issues or the thoughts that they have? It's so hard to talk about this because I am a survivor.
Right.
And I'm going to always be a survivor because I have to always remind myself, to want to live.
Right.
And so what advice can you give men to just live?
I would say start to challenge yourself, to grow, to learn. Find communities to get into, whether they're virtual or in person. There's workout groups everywhere. I just recently found one maybe 2 weeks ago. Well, no, a month ago. And so it was just random, found it, right? So they're everywhere. Just get in community, talk to other men, and realize you're not alone, right? Start eating better, trying to change your diet up, one meal at a time. You don't have to do this. Everybody does this real big, like, oh, I want to get healthy, especially January 1st.
Yeah.
I'm getting in the gym, I'm eating healthy. And it's like, you don't have to do one big drop at one time because your body's going to go into shock because of all the changes that you're making.
Right.
So one day at a time, just change one habit and learn every day, try to get better. But definitely change one meal, eat breakfast healthy, and then eat the rest of it, and then go to lunch and do it that way. Just take it slow with yourself and give yourself grace, because you weren't created to be perfect.
Right.
And so I think a lot of men, we try to be perfect. We want the perfect house, the wife, the cars, the money, like all these different things. And it's like, you have to start with the ugly first. And you have to clean the ugly first and really get through it.
It's the times and days right now is just really, really stressful. If you get to the point to where you say, I'm fine, everything is good now, but then you have times where, like a season that we're in right now with everything that's going on, what can you tell the audience and the men when you're going through a stressful time, when you are possibly laid off of work, or you can't pay your bills, your children acting up, you're having issues in your marriage? If you can just talk to the men and talk to the audience about all those issues based on strategies that you have helped someone within yourself, and just let them know how they can actually work through that process.
Okay. So first, I would say do not allow the pressure to build up. So that can be working out. That could be journaling, getting your thoughts on paper, and prayer, of course. So I have a journal where one side of the page I'll write my thoughts, and then the other side I'll write my prayers. And it usually goes together. So when I can go back through it, I can see where my life has been changing, or what I complained about, or have I done anything about that, and just getting active in life. We're gonna have those up times, and we're gonna have the down times. And it's don't sit in the downtime, because I think a lot of times we want to be perfect. We want to be seen in the light. It's human nature, right? And so when life hits, we all just kind of freeze. We don't know what to do. And some people sit in it, and they sit into it all the way into depression. And then it's like, okay, now we got to really get you help, because you sat in this one moment too long. And that's why earlier I said I really like the word happiness, because happy is just an emotion. It's a moment in time. Sadness is a moment in time. There's going to be rain. There's going to be sunshine. So it's like you have to fight through the rain sometimes to get to the next sunshine.
Right. That's good. And so I want you to go over, I just want you to take some time, at least 5 to 10 minutes, if you can, and just share whatever you want to share to the men, to the audience, because you talk to men, and you know men better than I do. But if you could just talk to me about, and talk to the audience about, things that you feel that's necessary to talk about right now to help them, because we're getting into the holidays and spending money. I know, and the holidays coming, and you may have lost a loved one, and the loved one's not here. Grief is another thing. If you could talk about so things that we have not hit, just talk about things that's important and imperative that we need to hear and the men need to hear.
I will say, do not stress yourself out with the holidays of buying all the gifts. Your presence in that house is way more impactful than any box those kids are going to open, right? And then save your money, like your finances, because I think a lot of people want to show out the Christmas. Oh, we got the matching pajamas, all the gifts, and it's like, okay, do some of those things if it's in your budget, but don't stress over the holidays. I know we're going to enter rooms with family members we don't really care for. And in those moments, you just have to take what you could take and leave when you leave. I'm always one of the last ones to show up and the first ones to leave, because I know my limits, and I'm still working on things, right? And then of course, it's pie time, and then it's going to be frosted dessert time. Don't fall for it. Keep your health going. Keep yourself in mind, because before you know it, the beginning of the year is going to start, and you're going to be like, oh, what am I working on? So this is a perfect time to plan for your future in the household, your business, your career, whatever you have going on. This is the time to really sit down and take that rest and plan for the next year to get it going, get it running. That's about it.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Do you feel that prayer and your relationship with God has really helped you through your mental health?
Definitely. So I didn't grow up in a household where we went to church. I know my grandfather was high in his church, but he lived on the north side. No, we weren't going that far, right? And so I actually had a friend named Erica who used to come and get me from my house. She used to go out of her way, come get me from my house and make sure I got to church with her. And it's crazy. We talked about it last year sometime, because I told her, I said, man, thank you. I said, you didn't really know, because nobody knew I was thinking about committing suicide. Nobody knew. And so in that conversation, I said, you actually helped. Because getting me and going to me to church like that, it helped me. But I also never really found a church home until recently. I would try different ones, and it was just like, I'm okay.
Oh, really?
And so when my wife got together, she was big church girl. She grew up a church girl, and I didn't. So for me, it was just like, I'm not going to that place. And then was it 2022 actually? I was like, man, something just said, go find a church home. We had just moved back here because I was living in Atlanta for a while, and something was like, go find a church home. And so I finally found one, and I kind of hesitated on going, and God talks to me by the things I see on social media. Sometimes my algorithm is educated, right? And sometimes he'll have me watch movies, and he'll keep putting a movie in my face until I watch it. So that at that particular moment was The Pursuit of Happiness. And in that moment, my wife wasn't working, I wasn't working, bills were due. We were about $30,000 behind on our mortgage, probably more than that. And I was just trying to figure it out. right? And it was those moments were tough. There were some crying times, there were some smiling times, some fun times, some sad times, all that in the mix. And so I got through the movie and I'm watching it, and it was the part when Will Smith gets to the church and he gets so much hope, and I just started crying. I'm like, why am I crying? Because I typically don't care to cry, right? This is before I learned about the stress hormones. Now I can let it out.
Okay, yeah.
And so I was like, man, we gotta get to church. And so now I go to Higher Dimension, and I've been there for about 1.5 years, almost 2 years now, and changed my life.
Oh, good.
My son actually getting baptized next week.
Oh, praise the Lord.
So it was
That's
like
good.
to see the transformation in the, not even just in myself, but in the family. And like now I'm serving in the church. So I'm actually on the production team at my campus.
Okay.
Right. And just being rooted in him has made it easier. Like I know when it's coming from him versus when it's just like an opportunity I don't need to follow.
Okay. Give a shout out to Pastor Jay.
Yeah.
And his wife Tasha, right? Okay, good. Well, that's good. That's really good. So inspiring. You're so inspiring. I want you to look into the camera and tell the men pretty much how they can connect with you, what type of specific coaching you do, and do you have any merchandise or books or anything that you've written?
I actually don't have any merchandise right now. I just have my community that I have open, and it's free to get in. So I'm actually having a call this Saturday. It's going to be open discussion. We're going to talk about men's mental health and wellness, and of course I'll let anybody know if you want to come coaching. I have a group coaching program. I also have a one-on-ones that we can do as well. And my book is actually, I'm finishing it. That's my goal for this holiday season, is to finish my book.
Yeah,
So
finish your book.
I'm planning for January 1st.
Okay.
Because one of the struggles I didn't talk about is the self-doubt that a lot of men have, and I was experiencing that writing my book. Like, I don't think I should be here, right?
You have a podcast?
I do. So I actually just changed the name of it again to The Inner King Show. And you can find that on YouTube. You can just put Coach Adam Wilson. It'll come up. You'll see my face. It'll come up. And then, of course, on Instagram and TikTok would be at @DAdamWilson_. And that's what I got right now.
Right. Okay. Final words.
You deserve to be here. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be around people who love you even in your vulnerable moments. Let's get better every day. Les Brown says it all the time, even if you fall, land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up, right? Just pick up every day, and sometimes those friends are there to pick you up. Your wife is there to pick you up. Lean into her, lean into your kids. I've learned a lot more from my kids than I have the world in a lot of aspects, right? God tells us that they're gifts. Proverbs 22:18 says, he who finds a good woman finds a wife finds a good thing. Learning my Bible scripture still.
That's okay. That's good.
And so you have to take that time for yourself, take that time for self-love, and really unleash that inner king. And that's why I put a lion on my shirt, because if you think about the zoo, everybody wants to see the lion roar. Sometimes as men, we have to roar, but we have to be quiet more than we have to roar.
That's good. That's good, Adam. So what's next for you besides the connect calls you're going to be doing? What's next besides the book and the call?
I'm going to be traveling and speaking. That's
amazing.
my next portion of it.
That's amazing.
Because I can help people virtually, but I also want to get in the room with people and shake hands. I like that better for me, because I get to feel your energy and actually talk to you and meet you and see your story.
Good.
You know, I may not be able to help you. I'm not gonna have all the answers, but I can walk with you. I can help you that way.
Good. Okay, so you told them about your social handlers. If you could just tell them again how to contact you, and then we can just make sure they get in touch with you.
Okay.
Because I know someone probably out there would like to connect with you.
Absolutely. I can give you my link for my community.
Sure, absolutely.
Because I'll give that to you as well. Or you could DM me at @DAdamWilson_. I love talking to people, so I'll DM you back. It'll be me. It won't be an assistant or nothing. So let's have conversations.
Good. Well, Adam, I don't know what else to say, but I'm just amazed by him and his testimony. So look him up and DM him if you have any questions. You'll be able to reach out to people and talk to them, the men. Okay, great.
Absolutely.
So I'm just excited to have this show. So this show is very important. So please share this episode with someone. It's very important. And this is the best thing that I could just like really say for today, because the time that we're in, I'm just stumped for words right now. Yeah, so this is a Destiny Talk with T, and thank you so much for listening in. And I will be doing shows in the new year, and they're going to be airing every Monday. This is my relaunch right now, and I wanted to bring on Adam because he reached out to me, as I mentioned, and I thought that it was so important for me to bring him on today. So thank you again for tuning in to Destiny Talk with T, and I look forward to seeing you again on the next episode.